Hi, if you're here, you found our YouTube channel, and today I want to go over the acrylic templates and how to mark your fabric for the Sugar Plum block by Judy Newman. We've had the acrylic template set in the shop, and we've sold out now, but if you would like a set, let me know and I will reorder. I'm thinking that maybe in the winter we can do some hand piecing together, sort of a sew along again, of the Sugar Plum block, because I'm really smitten with this block. So the first thing you want to do when you have your set is you need to mark your fabrics. So you have this swirly part, and then the outside ring, and then the background ring that will set your block as a square. So we're going to start with the swirly parts, and that's this template. And I should mention ahead of time, I've been using this this sandpaper board, and it's really helpful because it allows you to trace and the fabrics don't move around on you. They're not sliding around so that your fabric isn't marked properly. So this is, I just got it through Amazon, and it's a Jen Kingwell sandpaper board. I know there are others out there, and you can make your own too. So I'm using the board and then using this sew line pen because it's got a nice tip. Now, you could use just a graphite pencil that's sharpened or in your favorite marking tool. Just if you're going to use something that disappears with heat, like you know, you iron it and the markings disappear, you're going to have to be careful because when you've marked your lines, these are going to be your lines for stitching. So obviously you don't want them to disappear. Okay, so the first thing, once you have your fabric, lay your template on, and I've already done this one, but you just trace around the outside of your template. And then we're going to use these register holes and mark in the holes, and that shows us the points that we're going to connect, which will be your stitching line. On this template, you have a 1/4 inch stitching line. So you want to mark everything, and then when we hand stitch, you just follow the stitching line. So the easiest way to get a curve, since it's not a straight line, you can't just use a straight edge and mark from dot to dot. The easiest way to get the curve, and the most accurate way, I should say, is to use the piece that's going to, you will sew to this. So this curve is going to be this piece right here. It's just another swirl, but it's this side of the swirl. So I just make sure that my dots are along the line, and that this etched line, which is our sewing line, that etched line is along the outside edge that I've just traced, and then just connect the dots. Okay, and the same way for this side, you're going to use, so you'd have this swirl and this swirl, you're going to use this edge and line up your dots along the edge, and then my stitching line is lying along this outside edge, and I'm going to do that. Now, this part is actually, this piece connects there. So that is this piece. So I just lay that along there and connect the lines, and then cut it out. You could cut it out first too if you wanted to, and then do the lines. So that's how you do the swirls. There's going to be 6 backgrounds and 6 of the colorful swirls. And so the next piece that we have, we've done the swirls. The next piece is this, this outer ring, and you have the triangle piece, and then you have the piece that's the curvy top. It's going to be the background. So for the triangle piece, I've already marked my outside line. That's where I will cut on that line, and my register marks. And then I'm just going to connect the dots with a straight edge. Okay. And so if you look at my block again, the bottom edge of that triangle is the top of my swirly piece. So I'm gonna make sure that the etched line, which is my stitching line, is along the outside edge. Connect the dots. It's kind of hard for me to see here. And there. So I've drawn my stitching line, and then I will cut out on the outside line. Okay. And then we have, the next piece is going to be this section. And so here we are. And again, I can connect the straight edge very easily. Straight edge. And then this curve is the curve of the large outside ring. So I can just lay that piece down and make sure it lines up the edged line with my, and then connect. So the reason to use the piece that's actually connected with it is that, you know, the shape is correct and you'll have a better seam allowance there. I was just trying to say connect it this way, which you can do, but it's a little more accurate if you do it with the piece that connects. And you can always check it like that, make sure that you have it right. And then the last piece is the big outside edge, and that's probably the more complicated one. So I have a piece here. Let's cut and line it up. A little squirrely on me here. Do my register marks. Look at this one. Okay. And of course, you know, the straight edge is easy. And it's this part that is a little more difficult. So if we look at our sample, that curve is the top of this small curvy piece. It's piece B. I should be more accurate, I guess. So I just went in steps. Okay. Now that is much more accurate. It'll give you a more accurate 1/4 inch than if you used this piece and just moved it this way. You can see it's going to give you a heavier seam, a wider seam here than you need. So using the piece that meets up with it is much more accurate, and just move it along. And then you have a nice 1/4 inch seam allowance there. So that is how you cut out your pieces when you have the acrylic templates. Now, if you got just the pattern, we have the patterns also. If you have just the pattern, you're going to have to use some quilter's template plastic or cardboard or something, and I will show you how to make those templates in the next video. And I wanted to mention that I have been watching some videos on hand piecing on YouTube, and there are some excellent videos out there. So I would encourage you to just get on YouTube and do a search for hand piecing and find as many videos as you can to just take in all the information. So it's been a long time since I've hand pieced, but I'm really enjoying it. It's very relaxing, and it's just a great thing to know how to do if you love to quilt. So that's what you need to do when you have the templates. I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.